What is up guys, back into yet another reaction to the Berserk manga. This time I'll be reacting to the chapters Tidal Waves of Darkness parts 1 and 2. Looking forward to seeing what we're going to be covering. Last time out it was a full focus on Muzgus and taking him down. We did cover a few more events. We'll just go over it real quickly just to bring myself up, but I did only read it yesterday. So pretty clued up compared to yesterday's video. As I said, sometimes it gets a little hazy after waiting a week, just as it is sometimes with the weekly anime, but as I did mention last time, I think I mentioned last time anyway, that I will be changing the schedule to make that a little less a thing. A few less days between waiting for reactions, but oh yeah, we had Nina falling down. I think she survived. We had this classic reaction here, which I really love. I tried fitting that in the thumbnail for last video, but I just unfortunately couldn't. That's one interesting thing about trying to get thumbnails for this. It's quite hard to try and fit everything you want in there because there's so many kind of beautiful pieces of artwork. I don't want to put them all in, but you got to kind of pick and choose. We had this, a mass of souls. Unfortunately get released a little bit as well. The fires started dying down. We didn't see it go on a rampage or anything, but we had this really amazing shot here of the spirits, the people, camp, and Muzgus and Guts. And yeah, we had a very weird way of beating Muzgus, didn't we? Huck also mentioned this interesting part here about potentially, again, I'm not sure if he said if the ones with the brand are gone, those monsters will vanish too. I do wonder what he's thinking of that. I do wonder, because it is kind of true, isn't it? Love this little reaction from Cedro here as well. And not the best manners ever, but we ended up taking the guy down. Yeah, looking forward to seeing what we got today. Do let me know what you guys think about these chapters down in the comment section though. Leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date with these reactions. Let's get into the Tidal Wave of Darkness. Oh, Lord God, I come now into your presence. See, that is the one of the good things about kind of religion, isn't it? That belief in the afterlife. Maybe because they believe so much in an afterlife, it might actually kind of be a reality for those people, perhaps. Again, I can't really comment on it too much because I'm not religious and I'm or anything. But I do almost feel like if they have if these people have been believing their whole lives in an afterlife and a kind of a place after death, maybe there is that place for them. The logistics wise, I just kind of think I don't really like thinking about it. I don't think anyone does, but it's just like a dark, endless kind of pit. It's what happened before you were born, which nothingness, wasn't it? So I almost kind of appreciate that. And again, I feel like if they do believe, maybe they will actually get to experience that. Maybe the religious will actually get their kind of haven afterlife, perhaps. To your presence, and I guess Muzgus can also tell God to fuck off. tell God to stop harassing Guts. But again, we have seen the God of this universe, haven't we, in the lost chapters? But again, I pretty much have almost forgotten all that happened there, but because I'm actively kind of trying to suppress it, because I'm trying to act like it didn't happen. That was a lot harder just after reading it, but now after a few months it's actually quite easy to forget, to be honest with you. It does almost, when you think back, it does almost kind of spoil a lot of the kind of mystery and that kind of like with the Joker and his backstory, or lack of backstory. It kind of makes it a little less intriguing / chaotic knowing everything behind it. But at least I bring your enemy with me. with the last of my life's flame shall evil be consumed. Again, sorry if I'm talking funny today, my nose is like completely blocked. I mean, Guts could literally just let go of his blade, but would he? Is a big question. I feel like this. Oh well, maybe not. I didn't notice the wings actually holding him there. But even so, even if the wings weren't there, do you reckon he would let go? I mean, logistically, you'd think yes. If it was life or death, you'd think yes. But brings up an interesting question because we've only ever seen him about it a handful of times, and during those times, he is like anxious as hell and kind of fidgety and can't sleep. I'll pass. Rife. It might be your time to meet the god you love so much, but it ain't mine. Fly your ass to heaven. And absolutely smothered. So it looks like he's chucking it over his shoulder. Yep. Right into the people. Right into the people, which all were kind of always praying to him to win this battle. Quite funny, isn't it? Chucking him right down to the people. We're going to kill a few people. Hopefully I think they're going to die anyway. With the, I've got no idea what we can do against as I mentioned plenty of times, got no idea what we can do against the mass of souls. I feel like, funny enough, Muzgus was one of the only ways we could have beaten that with his kind of flame breath and stuff, but maybe his death might lead to the suppression of that, perhaps. But yeah, hopefully these. Well, I say hope these people have good reactions. There's not really a lot of space for them to move, is there? So I think inevitably some of these people are going to die. Also, quite a weird stance from Guts here, isn't it? Like, surely he's going with him there. The way his leg is up, almost like a girl getting like kissing a boy and getting all kind of cutesy. But surely there's no way your body's like this and you don't fall over there. And to add on top of that, the ground kind of, the footing kind of going at the same time. Surely he's over that edge as well, right? Almost all of his body weight, except for this one leg, is pushing him forward. Logistics wise, he should be going over as well. We'll see though. The people just look and they've got almost no expression on their face except for, well, shock, slight shock. This girl's really shocked. This guy's losing it. But your servant of God has been defeated. Looks like they avoided everyone, luckily enough. Oh, he kind of returned back to his normal size. These guys got lucky. That's quite the image there, isn't it? All these pure white, they're called quills, feathers. I think a quill is like a writing form of them, right? They're just completely naked. Feathers falling from the sky like a chicken. Quite the holy image. There's a square head. So that is the end of Muzgus. There's some even more reactions here. As the feathers Drop down. So what do they think of Muzgus when he was looking like an absolute beast up there? What do they think can happen there? Do they think that it was a kind of heavenly transformation, perhaps? Mother, the angel died. Oh yeah, they thought he was an angel. Well, they're all angels just because of the wings. Yeah! No! And here they are. Holy crap. Again, these guys look more fucked up every time we see them, don't they? Bloody hell. They look probably the scariest now, don't they? Do you know what? I feel like there's a lot of horrible faces here, but I feel like just with the Alien movies, I feel like the Alien is so scary. I saw some interesting stuff on the actual design of the Alien, and it did have a kind of skull head at some point, but maybe not the later Alien movies. They kind of went a bit too far with the kind of humanoid hybrid aliens, stuff like that. It was really weird. But I really like the Alien design just because it's creepy because it is only that mouth, isn't it? Like, don't get me wrong, it's got more parts to it, but I feel like the scariness comes from the lack of any kind of telling anything about it. It's just, again, just a smooth head and just a horrible little mouth. I feel like sometimes they're the scariest, although this one's got little eyes, but sometimes less detail is more scary. I feel like that's especially the case in horror. I feel like again, like the 80s, 70s and stuff, when they didn't have as much of a budget, that's when the kind of true classics came out, because you had to get kind of creative and you had to be kind of ingenuitive, if that's a word, with your work. Like Evil Dead is a great example. That paved the way for a lot of movie makers, didn't it, on a tight budget. The less budget you have, the more creative you get, and that ultimately adds a better experience to me personally. As we see with the It movies, the first It movie was really good, of the latest one, from the 2010s or 20s, I can't remember. That had some really good moments. The CGI was okay, but yeah, it was quite unfortunate, the CGI, that they used CGI in quite a lot of it, because again, I prefer the kind of simplicity of the original TV series in totality. That's how you say it. Even though the effects are kind of shoestring, nowhere near the same budget. Yeah, these poor people. Again, some really cool facial designs here, aren't they? Again, the scariest these guys have looked. That guy just looks like a tractor just ready to mow. Yeah, some horrible faces. I love stuff like this though. Look at these guys' reactions. As expected. Horror. This guy's definitely just sawed himself, hasn't he? Understandably so. Oh, bloody hell. They're getting squeezed in here. Jesus Christ. How many people are dying right now? Wow. Classic. Haven't seen one of these for far too long. A straight eyeball. Haven't seen one of them for far too long. It's another really cool image here, isn't it? Everyone getting mowed down again. There's nothing we can even do about this. Like, there's no salvation here, as with most of this story, as we've heard from Guts. No salvation here. There's no magical instrument that's going to stop this right now, is there? These guys are all just dead. Every last one of them. Just start trying to climb the wall, really. As possible. But it's not like that's going to last much longer either. So this castle. Almost every time we saw the floor during the fight with Muzgus and Guts, there was no footing. So I can't imagine there's going to be too much of that left. Really cool image here. Guy again, like half ripped into the darkness. Look at these guys. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Anything to survive. God, it hurts. Why? I don't want to die. Why? Damn you. Sounds a lot like it sounds a lot like what we've heard already from this kind of massive souls in the building a number of chapters ago now. Sounds like exactly the same stuff it was saying then. God, where am I? And what I say earlier about the afterlife really doesn't hold true for these people. Really doesn't. This is their afterlife. All you too. Dark. Somebody cold. Can't be alone. Hungry. Hot. Mother. Be with me. Body burning. Why me? Lord God. Jesus Christ. These guys. And swallow it up. Not sure what I'd rather. I think I'd rather probably be bitten in half by these teeth than I would be kind of. It reminds me of Creepshow 2. I watched that when I was like 10 and it scared the shit out of me. But it reminds me of that. Again, it stays pretty prominent in my memory, that being one of the scariest things I watched at that age. The first story was scary enough, even though it looks corny as hell. Quite a lot of old school horrors look corny as hell now, but it's quite the charm of it. But it reminds me of the second story of that, I think, where these kind of teenagers go to a lake and there's this kind of sludge, like black tar, and then it kind of almost overtakes the lake and swallows up the teenagers. And it sounds pretty generic, but it's actually quite scary and it reminds me a lot of this. Try to get up a picture. I'm not even sure what it'd be called. It's an anthology, of course. Tom Savini on special effects, which is always a good, always good. Yeah, this. I'm not sure I can put it to the right here. It reminds me of this scene here. It's horrible sludge is. I mean, it just looks like some sludge here, but it really kind of gets into your skin and rips your your skin apart, and it's so tight, and it just, yes, it's some nasty stuff. It was the least scary of the three, in my opinion, but still horrifying. You get touched by this, you're done. But yeah, I definitely recommend both of the. I think there might be more than two, to be fair, but yeah, here's a good one. Here's a good example. This is what it would do to you. This sludge just kind of rip you in it. Seems like the same thing's happening to these people. So I think I'd rather be bitten in half than than dragged into the darkness like that. Slowly have your everything ripped off. But yeah, definitely recommend those Creepshow movies. They're both I've only seen 2 of them. If there is more, they're both really good. Both really good. Watch the second one first, as I do with most kind of classic horrors. Wow. Kill her! Kill the woman! Please! I beg you. Quit thinking you can just get climbing. Get climbing. It does seem quite horrible though, doesn't it? 1 life in return for, especially to these people. We know that isn't exactly the case. But to these people, they think that 1 life is worth all of theirs. Well, I said that horribly, but that 1 life can save all of theirs, which is a massive kind of, fuck yeah, definitely do it. In a moral situation, a lot of people would say yes, but again, we know if that happens, it won't actually stop. The desperation of these people and their belief really coming through right here. The stupid bastards! Quickly! And they're all pretty much dead now as well. Bloody hell, all of them. Hurry! Do it now! Would have done it far, far long ago if we were ever going to do that, wouldn't we? Again, look, there's like 10 people left in this shot. It's consumed everyone. And I think I counted earlier on in the chat, earlier on in my videos a couple of weeks ago, and there was like 10,000s or at least thousands of people here. At least thousands. Close to 10,000s, I imagine. 10,000. Again, apologies. My nose is making me say stuff funny. But yeah, all dead. Every one of them. All of these poor souls. Oh, ah. What was you getting some more memories back? Looks like Puck picked up on that as well. It's a shame she can't ever get any of the nice memories back, isn't it? The only stuff he's got to remember is horribleness. I have a feeling her memories might return at the end of this arc, though. Don't know why I have that feeling, but I just do. You okay, Casca? Oh. Yow! Gee. Oh man. First time I'm seeing this for a fucking long time. This is really cute. Scratch, scratch. Be embraced by that darkness. Oh, Jesus Christ. And it is all consuming now, isn't it? You can literally not see a point past. It's a mass of souls. What do you do about this? What do you do? What is going to be done about this? Getting really cute image here again. It's a little bit saddened, of course, by Casca and the way she is, but are these the I reckon these are the real thing? What the fuck is that? Is that Femto? Oh no, that's Void. Void, Slain, and I forget these guys, Conrad and something, Cubic, something like that. Stanley Kubrick. Something like that. Is it Kubrick? I forget. No, evidently not. I was gonna say, how would I not have got that reference till now? His name was Kubrick. Ubik, something like that. Ubik, that's the one. Ubik. Slightly similar, I guess. But yeah, this might just be the shadow version, honestly. But what if this is the real thing? There's the human behelit right there. Okay, Tidal Wave of Darkness, Part 2. Again, this is some real, like, in the thick of the eclipse stuff happening right now, isn't it? Like, after everyone got sacrificed. Luckily for us this time, our closest friends didn't get sacrificed. Maybe that's still to come. Maybe that's still to bloody come. I hope not. And I say closest friends, I mean as close as friends you can get with guts. Horrible thing, isn't it? Horrible thing. Some lovely guts from this one. It's butt muscle. More guts. Some more guts. Not a fan of guts, these souls, are they? Jesus Christ. That's really awesome, isn't it? Disturbing, but really awesome. Again, I would have much rather the fate of getting eaten or bitten in half by the teeth than this. Jesus Christ. Oh, here we go. They will all be digested. The ones who drove me away. The ones who bound me. They all will dissolve. It will vanish. Everything of my world, including myself. Imagine this all doesn't go through though. Imagine we win. Imagine if those seconds that were spoken about by Skull Knight in which things could perhaps change. Imagine if that actually becomes successful. And Skull Knight got a hold of the human behelit. What would then happen? Is an interesting question. I feel like that would definitely give us a good look at what the behelits mean to Skull Knight. But would he be pretty interesting seeing him try to consume it, put it down his throat. So I feel like that would be quite interesting of itself, but that's just a bit of a kind of wacky scenario, isn't it? Can you hear it? Misshapen child. Holy crap. Got the form of a normal kid. The roaring lullaby of death. Kind of feeding that. Whirling into it. Wow. He's been returned to a normal child. Unperverted. By Femto. His hand still looks a bit weird. Maybe that's how babies' hands do look, though, I don't know. Wow. There's still people? Oh yeah, I guess we haven't seen Azan die or anything yet, so I guess there is still people. The tower! Take refuge in the tower! This whole thing came from the tower. Quite funny, isn't it? I think it can just as easily get back in there. Get to a high place. I also imagine if it really wanted to, it could probably knock down the whole tower. Maybe if they all spread out around the tower, it would actually do that. It would need them to actually destroy the whole kind of flooring, make everyone drop down into the void. Front's no good. Go around the back. I love this shot here. It's kind of lurking behind. Such a small gateway as well, isn't it, for this a mass of people. Not sure what these bloody soldiers are trying to do. Zazan. Who's he hitting here? People. Vice Commander, the crowd is surging into the tower. There's no other escape route. We've no choice but to withdraw as well. All knights, guard the people's retreat. But monsters are in the tower too. It's still preferable to this. Definitely. They're awfully bloody close to this massive souls, aren't they? Oh crap. Shutting people out. Why? Why shut people out? It's not like this gate is going to hold off. It's literally got like 20 holes in it. not like this gate is going to hold off this monster. Falter not. Get as many people through the gate as you can. Vice Commander, the gate. Wait, just close the gate. Forget about them. Hurry up. We're still out. That's just dreadful, isn't it? No, wait! There's still women and children. Wait, hold on. Let me in. Hey! These bastards. Again, what is the point? All you're doing here is forsaking your fellow believers. Disgusting, really, isn't it? Disgusting someone would do this. Even if it might end up being totally useless in the long run, letting the people in here, they might all die anyway. Even so, this is a disgusting act, isn't it? An act of self-preservation. No! What have they done? Yeah, I reckon Azan's livid at these bastards. What have they done? Not again. Oh, and here is... Oh, yeah, it's not too far away from Azan now. I do imagine he's, unfortunately, probably dead. I'll take that, though. I like Azan, but if he's the only person, slightly prominent character that we've covered in this arc that dies, I wouldn't be too mad at all. Again, last time in the actual eclipse was a lot worse. Ow, it hurts. Somebody. You trying to ask for somebody here, or is she saying that she's got somebody? I can't tell really. She has got somebody to actually just hurt her leg from that fall. I wonder if it's broken. I have to hurry and run away from here. If I'm too slow, those monsters will... Sniff. I can't really sniff. As I said, my nose is like completely shut off. Again, somebody. Yeah, I think she is shouting out for somebody to help her, isn't she? Somebody. She trips on a rock. Gotta love the footing of these ages, haven't you? In this time period. Disgraceful. Got to sleep on like rocks like this and stuff. Come a long way. Come a long way is what I'm trying to say. Just as much as you take for granted, just like the smooth ground these days, that was even like a problem. Something you just had to deal with. I think when you do look back on these time periods, you really do get a big appreciation for kind of current day technology and advancements. Oh, it hurts. Is anyone there? People? Please. You gotta get trampled right here. Please. I can't walk. Give me a hat. I mean, they could easily just run around her. But, as we saw a minute ago, these people don't give a fuck. I feel like they're probably going to trample her. But she might not die from. But could very easily die from. If this is the way she goes. Wow. Yep, here they come, just straight into her. The first guy, not even trying to run around, straight into her. My god, these people are disastrous, aren't they? That look on her face there as well, bloody hell. That's a look and a half. Oh crap. She gets saved, mate. The comments are going to have a field day with this. Bloody hell. Yeah, she gets actually gets saved at the last minute by Luca. Good job, Luca. Again, how much of a bastard you got to be to just see this girl and just not deviate whatsoever? Being the first person, it's understandable if the first couple of people maybe run round her and then the people behind don't see her and then just trample her like that. But the first guy is just bombing forward straight at her. That was horrible. Oh god. Apologies, guys. Ow. Funny bone. Oh god. Whew, that was close. Like a stampede of cow. You know what? Their brains probably are about the same as cows. Actually, quite funny she says that. It's quite funny how they're kind of shepherded in a way as religious people, shepherded into their beliefs and stuff. I guess cows and religious people are slightly similar in a way. That sounds really offensive, doesn't it? But there is a similarity there. Stampede of cattle, especially these bastards. Sorry I'm late. Are you okay? Luca! Luca! I saw you from below. It looks like Elaine and the others are alright, although I wasn't sure what to expect when you fell. You know what, I quite appreciate that Luca has actually come back. I'm not sure if she could have ran away earlier, but I feel like she could have just kind of ran off to a distant land and just been fine. But that's not who she is. As I mentioned during those chapters, she is like the mother of this story, isn't she? Of these girls. So yeah, again, Luca's definitely a character that's grown on me a hell of a lot. Although I wasn't sure what to expect when you fell. Luca, come on now. We don't have time to get lost in reunion. Talking about cat as well. Nina does look quite a lot like a sheep, doesn't she? Yep, here it comes. Not even the same entrance. Door got closed. Oh no. Can you stand? Yeah, but I can't possibly run. I'll catch up. It'll catch up. Sorry. She would never say I'll catch up, would she, Nina? That is not that. Yeah, no way. I think you guys can just understand that. I don't think she'd ever say that. Go on ahead. I'll catch up. I don't think she's ever really thought that way. Unless it's like I've mentioned a few times, unless it's like a kind of instinctual reaction. She's never thought that way. What do we do? Really? Is this going to work? Nina, climb in the barrel. But just do as I say. Whatever happens, don't come out. I mean, you might as well try, right? It seems like it's all doomed anyway, so you might as well try this. I can't do this. There's no time. Hurry and put your head in. Luca, what will you do? I'll figure something out myself. I won't let you. I can't be alone. All about you, isn't it, Nina? Again, understandably so. But I still don't like it. I'm scared. This is impossible. I say I won't be without you, and I won't. What are you, a baby? Good job, Luca. You sound like a baby. Two can't fit in a barrel. Besides, if I get in, who'll put the cover on? So your fear gets priority over my safety? You really are a devout coward. Don't worry, even when a ship is wrecked by a storm, the barrel's just floating along. Yeah, I've seen plenty of times in anime people in barrels and survive plenty of stuff. And in movies and stuff. If you're a coward, you might as well show me the spirit of a coward. Stay still, hold your breath, and keep absolutely quiet. Show me what it means to really be scared. You know, I like that analogy. It is quite like that, isn't it? That's the actual optimal thing to do in this situation, and it's something you do if you were watching like a horror movie or something, isn't it? You're kind of holding your breath, just absolutely quiet, so the massive jump scare comes out. Someone like you might unexpectedly be the most stubborn survivor, and yeah, I've seen that a lot. She survived a lot of situations. Quite selfish and quite stubborn, you know. Luca. And in the barrel she goes. There. Like she smacked it shut. Probably not too hard. I mean, hard enough, hopefully, so that nothing can kind of creep in there, but hopefully she can get out of there. That would be quite funny, wouldn't it, if she just ended up suffocating in this barrel. Ah, shit. What are you gonna do, Luca? I really hope Luca doesn't die. As I said, she's growing on me a hell of a lot. So what is she to do here? Skull Knight return? Nice. He's fighting. I've almost forgot about that. He's fighting bloody Zord, isn't he? I haven't seen that for a while. Oh, Luca, Luca. Maybe a Cedar can go down there and kind of pick her up. They've broken through the gate. Man, with that much force, they'll climb up here. Crap, what do we do? Wonder if it's time for farewells. I mean, yeah, Puck, you're absolutely fine. You're absolutely fine flying up there. Fire. Look. Yep, there. Oh, there's still people around Muzgus. Oh, crap. Wow. Impressive that they had enough. Well, I'm not really sure. I was going to say, impressive that they had enough faith that they'd stay there, but I actually think it's maybe they were so shocked at his death, perhaps, that they just ended up staying there and surviving around the fire of Muzgus. But yeah, we have seen that. That is the most effective thing, isn't it? Wow, look at that. Just a sea of darkness, and then that one kind of guiding light. Wow. Maybe Muzgus was a bit of an angel in death. Maybe not so much in life, but in death. They're all praying, of course. That fire is not gonna stay forever, unfortunately, for these people. But that is quite ominous, isn't it? Just the darkness waiting around you that close, like a meter away. That would be horrifying, wouldn't it? Huh. The gooey stuff avoids fire. That, yeah, I guess that is true. The gooey stuff. That angel was more useful dead. That's what I said, Jerome. The angel was more useful dead than alive. Father Muzgus. Whoever doesn't want to die, pick him up. The wood. I guess he's talking about here. Sha! You try yelling too, dude. Well, aren't you guys cheerful? I guess we have no choice, even though I detest fire. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that. That look at Farley's reaction. Again, these guys don't really know each other's backstory, do they? Of course, we know that I think his mother died from a witch burning. Again, we know Farney's kind of complexities with fire, people burning alive. She might what's it called? There's no good way to put it, so I'm not even going to actually speak about it. Pleasure herself during this. Oh dear. Oh wow, that is quite the coincidence. I have over 400 songs on this playlist, and the opening and ending to this latest season of Golden Kamuy, I've got it on remix. I've got it on kind of random shuffle. But the latest opening and ending of Golden Kamuy have just played in a row, which I love. Love that show. There's a lot of text here. Gonna probably get slightly confusing as to where I'm going to read, but hey pal, maybe we should leave this exposed place for the tower too. That's like jumping into the feed box. Make no mistake, that's where most of that stuff's going. I kind of think maybe he's onto something here. Maybe we saw that the darkness is still kind of stagnant outside, but if all of it accumulated in the castle, we could ultimately get rid of it if it was all in like the center and we set a fire and it had no place to escape. But I don't think that is the case, is it? That's like a perfect scenario right there. And as we've seen with Berserk, there's not really too many kind of perfect scenarios, or any. Seeking shelter is meaningless against something that can bust a castle gate. How? How can he behave this way? Besides, it will be dawn soon. When that's hit by the rising sun, it should either disappear or its power should be weakened. Oh yeah, I always forget about daytime. Again, I much more kind of associate that with like vampires and stuff. Never associated the daytime with like evil demons or anything before Berserk. Again, that was always like a Dracula vampire thing for me. Just watched Renfield a couple of days ago as well on that note. Really good, actually. Really good. I didn't like the CGI that much. I always a fan of practical blood and effects and stuff, so that kind of took it down a little bit. But the gore, even with the CGI blood, is actually really damn good. And Nick Cage actually kills it. I do like Nick Cage, though. I'm a bit partial to some Nick Cage. I watched Face Off when I was like really young as well, and it had quite a gruesome scene. Just one gruesome scene. It was quite gratuitous of the language, that's for sure. Yeah, that had one really gruesome scene that I actually turned off the first time I got to it, and I turned it off the first time, but I then watched it a second time a few years later, and that was like the only real gruesome thing in it. Obviously being the Face Off, but really good movie actually. And cheesy as hell, but in a good way. In this hopelessness, where no one could do anything but cling to something, this man struggles. This is the first place sunlight will hit. How can he speak of surviving so precisely, like it's a matter of course? We last until the morning, we win. How? How can his voice sound so reassuring? We're gonna survive. I brought up zombie movies a couple of weeks ago, and this is almost a bit like a similar situation again. The kind of blob and the souls is very different, but it's almost like trying to survive like a zombie apocalypse. It also reminds me a little bit of From Dusk Till Dawn and how they kind of hold out till the morning. Again, another vampire movie. But some similar beats. Really like From Dusk Till Dawn. That was one I watched quite young as well. Very surprised to see Quentin Tarantino in an acting role, but he was weirdly good. Very much fit the role he played. Very much so. Since that day, I was at the end. Since that day, I worried I'd been wandering the night, but I had forgotten that this is a world upon which the sun does rise. Indeed it does. And I think these two are the perfect kind of people to put, maybe a little Isidro as well, perfect people to put in the panel saying this, with the sun rising. So the time has finally come to unseal the secret sword. For that alone, I'm much better off than I was then. Oh, 100%. 100%. This is a much better situation than last time, isn't it? Actually. A way out. It's cut open. See, all they really have to do is just stand there. Trying to keep their fires alight till daytime. Okay. Good couple chapters today. Again, I really like this Lumen presence. Like I said, it's almost kind of zombie-like in the fact that it's just so relentless and it's all surrounding. Almost like a zombie apocalypse. But again, this time there is a way out. There is a time when the sun does rise and things will be fine. And like I've said, we haven't actually lost anyone massive. We might have lost Azan. Still not 100% sure. We haven't seen him actually die or anything, but I'm pretty sure that dude's dead. But yeah, we haven't even lost anyone massive or anything, have we? It's actually going pretty well. Some interesting stuff here by Far and East, of course, wasn't there? Gut's actually sounding very soothing right now. But yeah, let's read some comments again. I imagine there's going to be something about Nina right here. Some lovely praise for Cedro. A lot of hate for Nina, of course. And some other people actually defending her, saying that she's actually the most normal person. I mean, probably, but I'm quite a self-sacrificing person myself. I've always been that way. Less so the further I've gone on in years, because I mentioned this a few times about actually trying to look after myself, and I really didn't at all. I was again much more of a kind of other serving and thought too much about other people, but I still am that way. So I think that's why I'm good at football, and I'm a good team player. I do what's necessary for the team rather than kind of my own benefit. On most weekends, I'll give out I shout a lot. I instruct a lot, and I give out my voice and maybe a bit of focus on my own game to help the kind of overall team. So I've always kind of been that way. So I feel that characters like Nina do piss me off a little bit, but also on the other end, the complete other spectrum of Nina, that kind of fully kind of heroic figure and such, also is very annoying, isn't it? It's all too common, and we've seen all too played out and seen before, isn't it? And just very unrealistic. Like I said, I'm quite a giving person and quite a thoughtful person, but again, even I'm trying to actually be more selfish. So that's almost a bit I respect about Nina in a way. I respect that she's that kind of selfish in a way, but also it is quite bad. But nice to see some actual defenders of her. Again, it's usually just berating her character in the comment section. But yeah, pretty much the rest of the comments are hating on her. Yeah, I actually got some defenders today about people saying she's a perfectly flawed character. She's a flawed character. Everyone is. Everyone's got flaws. Everyone's got stuff they deal with. Bad parts about who they are. Yeah, she did drink some baby stew, to be fair. That was a disgusting scene, wasn't it? But yeah, I can't imagine everyone survives here, right? There's no way. There's no way that would be too perfect for Berserk, really, wouldn't it? I hope Luca doesn't die, but Luca, perhaps Azan. I don't feel like Farnese will die, but maybe Sir Pico. Cedro, perhaps. I really hope that doesn't happen. But there's definitely some candidates for who could die here, isn't there? Jerome, he's a massive candidate, actually, isn't he? Massive candidate. But I feel like Guts, Farnese, Casca, Puck will be fine. But the others are very kind of yeah, could go anyway. I feel like a Cedro might actually put himself. He's like the opposite end of the spectrum of Nina a little bit. I feel like he might end up putting himself in a situation that gets him killed to help someone else, perhaps to help Casca than to save himself. But that's again just a kind of theory. He is still a kid. Kids can be very selfish. I was really selfish, as I said. I've changed quite a lot throughout the years, but kids in general are quite selfish. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about these chapters down in the comment section. I want to do another one today, but I will continue my original plan of doing probably 3 next time, and then 2 to finish out the volume. We've almost finished the volume, strangely, but yeah, I'll finish the Tidal Wave of Darkness today. I'll probably be doing Resonance and Skyfalls and perhaps Daybreak or Daybreak, Arrival, and Determination. So I'll be definitely doing 3 chapters in one of the next 2 videos. So hopefully I'll see you guys next week with those. Again, let me know what you guys thought about these chapters down in the comment section. Some really interesting, some really horrific stuff today, wasn't there? Probably one of the most horrific chapters we've had in a long while, actually. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day, guys.